After your road test, the license examiner informs you that you failed because you only used your backup camera while reversing and did not look over your shoulder. What is true about this situation? A. The examiner's judgment on your over-reliance on the camera is the basis for the test result. B. You can appeal the result because backup cameras are legally permitted for use during the test. C. The examiner should have instructed you to turn off the camera before the test began. D. Failing for this reason is only possible if your backup camera is an aftermarket installation. When you see this sign as you approach an intersection, you must A. Slow down and be prepared to stop to give the right of way to other traffic. B. Come to a full stop, then proceed when it is safe. C. Maintain your speed and merge with the traffic. D. Stop only if there is a police officer present. While you are driving on a public road in New York, a passenger begins to smoke cannabis. Which statement is true? A. This is legal for the passenger, but not for the driver. B. This is legal as long as the vehicle's windows are open for ventilation. C. This is a traffic infraction for both the driver and the passenger. D. This is only an infraction if a police officer observes the act. When a driver is tailgating you, why is it dangerous to suddenly press your brakes or brake check them? A. It is an aggressive action that can startle the other driver and lead to a collision or road rage. B. It automatically makes you legally at fault for any resulting accident in New York. C. It can cause your anti-lock braking system, ABS, to malfunction. D. It signals to other drivers that your vehicle is disabled and requires assistance. What does this road sign mean? A. The road ahead has traffic moving in both directions. Keep to the right. B. You are approaching a T intersection and must turn left or right. C. A divided highway begins ahead. D. You may pass other vehicles on either the left or the right. While driving in the left lane of a highway, you notice that several vehicles are passing you on your right. This is a strong indication that you should A. Move into the right lane when it is safe. B. Maintain your speed and lane position because you are not speeding. C. Increase your speed to match the vehicles passing you. D. Turn on your four-way flashers to warn other drivers. You witness a vehicle crash into a utility pole, and live electrical wires fall onto the car. The driver appears unhurt and is starting to open the door. What is the most important thing to do? A. Tell them to jump from the vehicle, making sure not to touch the car and the ground at the same time. B. Shout at them to stay in the vehicle and not to get out. C. Run to the car and try to move the wires away with a tree branch. D. Instruct them to turn off the engine and then exit the vehicle quickly. When you see this sign, what should you do? A. Slow down for a sharp turn to the right. B. Make a mandatory right turn at the next intersection. C. Move into the right lane as the road narrows. D. Exit the highway to the right immediately. A driver approaches an intersection controlled by a red light. There is no painted stop line, but there are two parallel white lines marking a pedestrian crosswalk. What is the correct stopping position? A. Before the front of the vehicle enters the crosswalk. B. In the middle of the crosswalk to get a better view of traffic. C. With the front wheels on the first line of the crosswalk. D. Just past the crosswalk to leave it clear for pedestrians. You are preparing to drive with an infant in a rear-facing child safety seat. Where is the most dangerous place to position this seat? A. In the front passenger seat, if the vehicle has an active passenger airbag. B. In the center of the back seat. C. Behind the driver's seat. D. Behind the front passenger's seat. This sign warns drivers that A. The left lane is ending, and traffic must merge to the right. B. The right lane is ending, and traffic must merge to the left. C. A new lane is opening on the left. D. The road ahead is divided by a median. You are driving an older car without an anti-lock braking system, ABS, and need to stop at an intersection on an icy road. What is the proper braking technique? A. Pump the brake pedal gently. B. Press the brake pedal hard and hold it down. C. Shift to a lower gear and do not use the brakes. D. Alternate between the gas and the brake. You are parking your vehicle facing downhill on a street with a curb. In which direction should you turn your front wheels as a final precaution against rolling into traffic? A. Toward the curb. B. Away from the curb. C. Keep them perfectly straight. D. It does not matter on a downhill slope. When you see this sign, what should you expect ahead? A. The road will become narrower. B. The right lane will end. C. A one-lane bridge is ahead. D. The highway is about to be divided. A driver is involved in a single car crash that causes an injury to their passenger. To avoid potential consequences, the driver decides not to file an accident report with the DMV. What is the most severe penalty for this failure to report? A. A warning letter will be sent to the registered owner of the vehicle. B. The driver will receive a traffic ticket and a small fine. C. The driver's license and/or vehicle registration can be suspended. D. There is no penalty if a police report was not filed at the scene. In which of the following locations is a U-turn always illegal in New York State, even if there is no sign prohibiting it? A. In a school zone. B. At an intersection with a traffic light. C. In any residential district. D. On a divided road with a paved median opening. When you see this road sign, you should A. Be prepared for other vehicles to move into your lane from the left. B. Move into the left lane as soon as it is safe. C. Expect your lane to end ahead and prepare to merge left. D. Come to a complete stop and yield to all traffic. You are backing out of your driveway and notice a pedestrian on the sidewalk about to cross your path. What must you do? A. Stop your vehicle before the sidewalk and let the pedestrian pass. B. Continue backing up slowly, as the pedestrian should wait for you. C. Honk your horn to warn the pedestrian to stop. D. Proceed, because vehicles have the right of way in a driveway. You are driving on a busy city street and see a "No Stopping" sign. When is it permissible to stop your vehicle in this area? A. When a traffic light ahead of you turns red. B. To quickly drop off a passenger at the curb. C. To briefly load a small bag into your car. D. To check a map on your phone. When you see this sign on the road, what does it indicate? A. An obstruction that you may pass on either the left or the right. B. You must keep to the right of the sign. C. The road ahead curves sharply to the left. D. A one-way street begins ahead. You are the first car stopped at a red light. When the light turns green, a person is still crossing the street in the crosswalk in front of you. What should you do? A. Wait for the pedestrian to completely finish crossing before you move. B. Proceed slowly around the pedestrian, as you now have the right of way. C. Tap your horn lightly to let the pedestrian know the light has changed. D. Inch your car forward to signal your intention to go. You are traveling in the right-hand lane of an expressway and you see other vehicles on the entrance ramp ahead, preparing to merge. What is the most courteous and safe action to take if the lane to your left is clear? A. Move one lane to the left to allow the merging traffic more room to enter. B. Speed up to get past the entrance ramp before the other cars can enter. C. Maintain your lane and speed, as merging traffic must yield to you. D. Slow down significantly to let all the merging cars get in front of you. When you see this sign while driving, what should you do? A. Prepare for a steep downgrade. Check your brakes and shift to a lower gear. B. Speed up to gain momentum for the upcoming hill. C. Watch for trucks entering the highway from a steep ramp. D. The road ahead is closed to all truck traffic. A driver with a New York license is convicted of illegally passing a stopped school bus for the third time within a 3-year period. What is the mandatory action the DMV will take against their license? A. Their driver license will be suspended for 90 days. B. They will be required to retake the written knowledge test. C. Their driver license will be revoked for a minimum of 6 months. D. They will receive 5 points on their license but no suspension or revocation. A bicyclist is preparing to ride with a child in a carrier seat attached to their bicycle. Under New York State law, what is the rule regarding very young passengers? A. It is illegal to carry an infant under 1 year old as a passenger. B. Any child can be a passenger if they are in an approved carrier. C. Children under 5 years old are not allowed as passengers. D. Passengers are only allowed if the bicycle is a tandem model. When you see this sign, it means A. You are not allowed to enter the street or roadway. B. You are approaching a stop sign. C. The road ahead is closed to all traffic from all directions. D. You are entering a one-way street. A driver with a standard New York driver license is stopped by a police officer and issued a ticket for holding their phone to their ear while talking. If this is their first such offense, what is the penalty in addition to a fine? A. A warning, but no points are added to their license. B. 2 points are added to their driver license. C. 3 points are added to their driver license. D. 5 points are added to their driver license. You are driving within a roundabout and are preparing to use the next exit. A pedestrian is in the crosswalk at that exit. What must you do? A. Activate your right turn signal and yield to the pedestrian before proceeding. B. Maintain your speed and assume the pedestrian will wait for you to pass. C. Stop in the circulating lane of the roundabout to allow the pedestrian to cross. D. Exit without signaling, as your turn is expected. When you see this signal from a flagger at a work zone, you must A. Stop and wait for instructions to proceed. B. Slow down and proceed with caution. C. Change lanes immediately. D. Obey any traffic lights or signs, not the flagger. When entering a work zone, you see a flagger directing you to stop. However, the permanent traffic light ahead of you is green. What must you do? A. Obey the flagger and stop until they signal for you to proceed. B. Ignore the flagger and proceed cautiously through the green light. C. Honk to alert the flagger of the green light and then drive through. D. Stop, but then proceed if the car behind you begins to honk. While driving at night, a driver in an oncoming vehicle fails to dim their high beams, creating a blinding glare. What is the safest action to take? A. Flash your high beams repeatedly until they dim theirs. B. Look toward the right edge of the road to guide your vehicle. C. Stare at the center line of the road to stay in your lane. D. Brake sharply and stop until the vehicle has passed. When you see this sign while driving, you should A. Slow down for an uneven road surface. B. Prepare to stop for a flagger. C. Be aware that the road ahead is slippery when wet. D. Speed up to clear the area quickly. You are driving and realize you are dangerously drowsy, even drifting slightly in your lane. What is the only truly safe course of action? A. Continue driving but slow down significantly. B. Drink a large energy drink to wake yourself up. C. Pull off the road into a safe area and take a nap. D. Open all the windows to get fresh air. You turn onto a street in Brooklyn, New York City, and do not see a speed limit sign. What is the legal speed limit? A. 30 miles per hour. B. 55 miles per hour. Circa 35 miles per hour. D. 25 miles per hour. You are approaching an intersection and see this traffic signal. What should you do? A. You may turn right, but you cannot proceed straight. B. You must stop completely and wait for a green light. C. You may turn right or proceed straight with caution. D. You may turn right only after coming to a complete stop. While driving, you see a traffic signal ahead that is flashing yellow. This signal means you should A. Stop completely before entering the intersection. B. Slow down and proceed through the intersection with caution. C. Speed up to clear the intersection before the light turns red. D. Maintain your speed because you have the right of way. You are taking your NYS road test and need to change lanes. Your vehicle has a blind spot monitor. To pass this part of the test, you must A. Check your mirrors and perform a physical head check to look for traffic in your blind spot. B. Rely only on the blind spot monitor, as it is more accurate than a head check. C. Turn off the blind spot monitor, as no electronic aids are permitted during the test. D. Tell the examiner you are changing lanes and wait for them to confirm it is clear. You are approaching an intersection and see this traffic light. What does it mean? A. You may turn left after yielding to traffic and pedestrians, but you cannot proceed straight. B. You must stop and wait for the circular light to turn green before making any turn. C. You may proceed straight or turn left with caution. D. Come to a complete stop, then you may turn left when it is safe. You are the designated driver for a group of friends. One of your passengers, sitting in the back seat, opens a bottle of wine. What does New York State law say about this situation? A. It is illegal for any person in the vehicle to have an open container of alcohol. B. It is legal as long as the container is kept in the back seat, away from the driver. C. It is legal as long as the driver's blood alcohol concentration, BAC, remains 0.00%. D. It is only illegal if the passenger is under 21 years of age. You are driving on a two-lane road with a single lane in your direction, and the driver behind you is following too closely. What is the safest action to take? A. Reduce your speed and, when safe, pull over to allow the tailgater to pass. B. Speed up to create a larger gap between your vehicle and theirs. C. Maintain your exact speed and lane position, forcing them to slow down. D. Tap your brakes several times to send a warning signal to the other driver. What does this road sign mean? A. You cannot go straight ahead. B. You must turn right. C. One-way traffic ahead. D. No U-turn. You are driving on a multi-lane road, and a vehicle from behind begins to pass you on the left. What is the correct and safest action for you to take? A. Slightly reduce your speed and stay centered in your lane. B. Speed up to prevent the other driver from passing. C. Move toward the right side of your lane to give them more space. D. Flash your headlights to signal that it is clear for them to pass. You are the first person to arrive at a crash scene. A driver is conscious but says they have severe back pain. The vehicle is not on fire. What should you do? A. Help them out of the car and have them lie down on the ground. B. Give them some water and encourage them to try and walk around. C. Advise them to remain still in their seat and wait for medical professionals. D. Move them into your vehicle to keep them warm until an ambulance arrives. When you see this sign while driving, what does it mean? A. You may pass on either side of the upcoming obstruction. B. The highway ahead is divided. You must keep to the right. C. The lane is ending and you must merge. D. You are approaching a Y intersection. You are approaching an intersection with a stop sign. You see a thick, solid white line painted across your lane of traffic before the intersection. Where must you bring your vehicle to a complete stop? A. Before your front bumper crosses the white line. B. With your front tires on the white line. C. Directly even with the stop sign post. D. After the white line, but before entering the intersection. When adjusting your driver's seat in a vehicle equipped with an airbag, what is the safest minimum distance to maintain between the center of your chest and the steering wheel cover? A. At least 10 inches. B. About 5 inches. C. As close as is comfortable to reach the pedals. D. The distance does not matter if you are wearing a seat belt. You are driving in the rightmost lane and see this sign. What should you expect ahead? A. A new lane is being added to the road. You do not need to merge. B. The right lane is ending and you must merge left. C. Traffic from an entrance ramp will be merging into your lane. D. The highway is dividing. You must keep to the right. You are attempting to make a turn on a snow-covered road, but your front wheels lose traction and your vehicle continues to move straight ahead. What is the correct sequence of actions to recover from this type of skid? A. Take your foot off the gas, shift to neutral, and then steer where you want to go as traction returns. B. Brake hard and turn the steering wheel sharply in the direction of the turn. C. Accelerate gently to try and pull the front wheels through the turn. D. Keep your foot on the gas and steer in the opposite direction of the turn. You have just parked your vehicle on a steep hill and shifted the transmission into park. What is the next required action you must take to properly secure your vehicle? A. Firmly set the parking brake. B. Turn on your hazard lights. C. Check your mirrors before opening the door. D. Lock the doors and take the key. Upon seeing this sign, a driver in New York should A. Reduce speed and be extra cautious of people and machinery on or near the road. B. Activate the move over law and change lanes if possible. C. Maintain the posted speed limit unless a flagger is present. D. Understand that a detour is required ahead.